Okay guys, so this is distance versus displacement. You gotta know the difference between the two. Everybody gets this confused, but they're actually, pretty simple differences. So let's talk about those differences right now. Let's see if I can get this drawing software working right. First, I just want to talk about distance. Whoops. There we go. Distance. Let's do that one first. So this one's kind of common sense. Let's say you went for a walk and you started here, so I'm going to put an S, and you walked this way. And you walked, I don't know, let's just say 100 meters this way. And, because maybe your friend's house is over here. And then you turned right back around and you walked this way 50 meters. Because, I don't know, you stopped right here and there was an avocado tree and you're pulling some avocado meat off the tree. So if somebody asked you, how much did you walk? You're probably thinking distance. You're like, hey, I walked 150 meters, because this number plus this number, right? So you would say the distance, I'm going to put DIST for distance. If I put DIS, that's not enough because they both start with DIS. So I'm going to put distance is equal to, 100 meters plus 50 meters. Sorry for what I'm writing. I'm writing on this new pad thing, and, it's kind of weird because I have to look at the screen. I'm not looking at where I'm writing. Anyway, so then, you get the answer like I got 150 meters, correct? And if afterwards you left here and you went back this way again, and you walked another 50 meters, obviously, back, you would say, hey, I walked, a total of 200 meters, because then you would add another 50 meters, of course, and then that would just add up, and it just keeps kind of growing and growing, because, the more you walk, the more distance you've traveled, right? So that's distance, right? It's just kind of, plain straight up adds up how much distance you walked, right? But displacement is different, and it's kind of important in physics. I'm going to teach this again later on. This right here is a scalar value, what's called a scalar value. And this one right here is what's called a vector value. So these are scalars. Distance is a scalar, and displacement is a vector. I'm just going to start saying that now. You'll get a hang of this in a while. So vector keeps track of distances, like negatives and positives and stuff. So, for example, if I started here and I walked the 100 meters, I would definitely call that probably 100 meters since it's to the right. You don't have to. You can make these up. You can say negative is to the right, but, kind of more common sense says positives to the right. But as long as you keep track of which direction, you'll learn that in a while as well. It doesn't really matter. So you end up right here because that's your friend's house. You turn around and you walk, negative 50 meters this way because that's going the other direction. And somebody said, what is your displacement? Well, displacement is often called, delta x. And delta just means change, and x is your position. So change in position. Okay, so this symbol right here, the triangle, is called delta, and it means change. And then x means position. So change in position. So what is your change in position? If you really think about it, you're here, and you started here, so what's that difference? Your change in position is a positive 50. How do you figure that out mathematically? Well, you just say change in position is equal to, well, what was your one move? 100 meters, positive, plus the other move you did, which is negative 50 meters. And then what does that come out to be? A positive 100 plus the negative 50 ends up being a positive 50 meters. That's your displacement. Is that the total distance you walked? No, it's not. You already know you walked more than that. This is just your change in your place. How much were you displaced? You were displaced from where you started and to where you ended. You displaced 50. First you displaced 100, then you displaced negative 50. So what's your total displacement? Your total change, it's positive 50. And that's all you do it. If we were to walk 50 meters back, we'd add the positive 50 back, and then you would end up with 100 because you'd be 100 from where you started. Let me erase that real quick, so in case this is your final screen. Oh, that's not the eraser. This is the eraser, right? That's not the eraser. There we go. I'm just going to erase this so that this doesn't confuse anybody later on, because this was just a little extra I was doing. So if you look at the main difference, one just sees your change of position, and the other one is your total distance traveled. So let me get that pencil back here, and I'll just put the 50. Oops. There we go, got a double tap. 50 meters, there we go. So as you can see the difference, we're going to get different answers. Here we got an answer of positive 50, and here we got an answer of 150. Yet they did the same thing. It's just that, are you talking about distance, or are we talking about displacement? Alright, so that's the big difference right there. I'm going to give you guys a couple of sample problems and try them out and see if you get the correct answers, okay?